Blog Talk Radio.
And I'm hungry.
Is you looking for good eating and stay beating the path to the network with the best food rapper hook you up fast. They keep it crispy with the 411, they feeding you right, chopping it up, dishing it out. It's tasting good but don't bite. The recipes are sublime and info fresh off the vine. They keep you GMO free, cause be you all what you eat. Now if you too busy chewing on the FAT fat wag, tune into the F to the O to the O to D food rap. Listen to the kitchen on the show with the utmost. With Nina, me, and Shauna G, your Fly MC chef host. Food rap, food rap, food rap, food rap. It's time to eat. Feel the pressure. Can I get a yes, yes, sir? A yes, yes, sir. For the hottest show on the block, from the street to the hood. Keep it locked on Food Rappers Talk. Never tasted so good.
Oh yeah, delicious. Pizzas, hamburgers, and French fries. Oh yeah, all the fast food I can eat. Oh no, I can't have that. Oh no, I'm hungry. I hear my stomach growling.
Brussels
It's
sprouts.
food rap.
Food Rap. Go Pro Radio Network. Nina Markel, Shauna Glover. Let's go.
That's it.
What's up, guys?
Welcome, everybody. I'm Nina Markel.
And I'm Shauna Glover. We're the hosts of Food Rap, where talk never tasted so good. Oh, yeah.
It's a back to school week.
That's right. And I'm a little depressed about that. That means summer's over. I'm not liking that at all.
I'm loving it because I love the autumn weather.
I like autumn. I especially love corduroys, but I love the heat, which I'm going to miss.
I'm not going to miss it, girl.
All right, everybody, on today's menu, it's back to school with special guest Sadiqa Muhammad. Very excited to have her on.
Ooh.
She's an actress, writer, producer, and most importantly, a mom on the go. She has a successful web series called Mom on YouTube, but we'll get to that a little bit later. The number to call in if you want to join the conversation is 646-929-1521. And today's show is sponsored by Sounds Inspired by Mumia Abu Jamal. And that's a great CD that has some wonderful artists on there. Hassan Salam, we have Ayana Jones, aka Nana Soul, and Public Enemies on there. It's
Spirit
just
Child is on
Spirit
there.
Child. It's beautiful. So if you guys want to pick that up, go to www.bwmovingimages.com. So Nina, tell us why you want to do the show. Why are you here today?
Why am I here today? Because I want to help our listeners, learn about what's going on with our food and help them to make better choices. And, I mean, it's amazing to me how many people don't really know what's going on. I actually had a conversation with a couple of guys at a bike shop yesterday, and I was talking about that documentary Food Inc., and they seem to be shocked about the whole thing with the chickens and
Really?
the overcrowded conditions. Yeah, like a lot of people really don't know.
That's interesting. I thought everyone saw the documentary. It was
Apparently
really
not.
profound.
So what about you, Miss Shauna? Why did you decide to do the show?
For several reasons. I get really excited. Anyone who knows me knows that I can go on and on about food and what's wrong with it and what's good
You
for
can
you.
go on and on. That's true.
I
is so true.
I do have a problem. I can be a motor mouth at times. I'm too.
Bueno.
So I became a vegan in the hopes to kind of improve, my body, my health, and that's been a challenge. Being a vegan is not a challenge, believe it or not, but just not eating the packaged foods and things like that. That's the real challenge, of making sure I'm getting enough vegetables. Cutting out the meats has actually been really easy for me because once I started to learn about what's wrong with the chicken and what's wrong with the meat, I no longer wanted to eat it. You know
I was
what
a
mean?
vegetarian actually in the 90s. I was not a vegan, but I was a vegetarian, and it was actually pretty easy for me too.
What was that like for you, being a vegetarian? And why did you end up coming back to the chicken? And
I only did it based on a bet actually. Someone
right.
bet me that I couldn't do it, and I ended up doing it for about 5 or 6 years. But
That's a long bet. You should have got paid off of that.
I wanted to make a point, but the thing is, I mean, it was great. I felt really good. Initially, I felt really light, but at some point, at around year 5, I started feeling a little tired and fatigued, and so I became a pescatarian, and I was doing seafood as my protein. And then I ended up just going back to chicken because I missed it. So that's the end of that.
Oh, okay. Well, I plan on hanging in there unless they significantly change their practices, the food industry, that is, but I doubt it. So I want to let our listeners know that coming up next is Chop It Up, and with Chop It Up, it's all about breaking down the labels and helping you, the listeners, just like you were talking to the people at the bike shop about why it wasn't, like about Food Inc. and people don't know. So we're here to kind of help you guys through that. So let's chop it up.
And it's like that. and chop, chop, chop.
All right. So what are you going to be chopping up today, Shauna?
All right. So I am chopping up, since we're going back to school, I thought it'd be good to chop up some like common lunch type things. And I know for me in the past, it's something that has been my go-to when my daughter will say like on the way to school, Mommy, I want home lunch. So I'll run into the grocery store and I'll grab this conveniently packaged item here. And that's exactly what it is, convenient. But I feel like we're paying, the cost of convenience is our health, So I'm going to be really quick with this because there's a lot of items in here. It's all sectioned out, and I can't read all the ingredients of each item, but I want to tell you some key factors of what's in each one. So in the drink,
find them on the internet. Just do a search on paleo wraps. You know.
So delicious. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, my dear.
So, I'm sorry. I'm trying to clean. I got to eat that later. Don't go anywhere with that because I'm starving and I want to finish it. So up next on the menu is Food Fight. Okay, so quickly, Food Fight is when Nina and I look all over the world for news that you guys may not know about, and we bring it to you here on the Food Rap Radio Show. Nina, what do you have for us today?
So this is not a typical news story, but I decided to talk about it because we're talking about moms on the go and going back to school. And I noticed that you don't really get enough sleep, Shauna.
Do you notice that?
I noticed that. So I decided to actually read about this article from realpharmacy.com. And I love that website because they always have this really great, useful information. And so basically what I'm reading about is the 5 best foods and the 5 worst foods to eat so that you can sleep properly and get some good sleep.
All right. I need that. I need that.
You need that in your life.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so basically the 5 top foods to eat before you go to bed. Okay? Cherries. Cherries are one of the only natural sources of melatonin. Melatonin is this like sleepy hormone. Helps you to sleep really well. It's a chemical that controls your internal clock to regulate sleep. Researchers have found that high levels of melatonin and recommend eating them an hour before bedtime. Cherries. And you like sweets, so I can see you're doing that.
I love cherries. Yes,
Yeah.
I can definitely have that.
You just need to get to bed earlier.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, number 2 on the list is almonds. A handful of these heart-healthy nuts can send you snoozing because they contain tryptophan. Tryptophan is actually naturally occurring in also turkeys, which is why after Thanksgiving people fall out. They have a tremendous amount. But you can also find them in almonds, so you don't have to have turkey.
Oh, nice. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Or
Awesome.
you can have a tablespoon of almond butter if you don't want to do the almonds.
That's
That'll help
great.
your body to relax and sleep really nicely.
Mm.
And then we have honey, which is something that you can drizzle in your tea.
Mm.
And honey is a natural sugar, and it raises your insulin slightly and allows the tryptophan to enter our brains more easily. And then number 4 is flax seeds, which personally, I don't really do flax seeds, but I hear they're really, really great. But I haven't done them. That's the one thing that I have not tried yet. Flax seeds, if you sprinkle a couple of them in your bedtime oatmeal, as we discussed earlier, 1 hour before bedtime, it promotes a deeper, more profound sleep.
Oh.
So I suggest that for you.
Yes.
And then bananas, which you can actually put in your oatmeal, are supposed to be good for sleep. They're like a sleeping pill in a peel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Bedtime oatmeal?
Bedtime oatmeal, girl.
Only for Shauna.
For anybody. For the lovely Ayana Jones. So here are the 5 foods to avoid that are not really good for sleep.
Okay.
Okay, so alcohol. Having a drink or 2 will probably have you fall asleep sooner, but then you're going to have sleeplessness.
Oh.
So
Okay.
you won't have a restful sleep if you do alcohol before bed.
Okay.
Spicy foods. Research has shown over the years that a spicy meal at night can indeed lead to poor sleep. On the nights that include spicy meals, there were marked changes in the subject's sleep patterns. I'm not sure why that is.
Well, I know
It's
when
not
I
explained.
when I have spicy foods, I get really bad heartburn, like before I lay down.
So maybe it has something
Yeah.
to do with the digestive system,
Maybe.
I'm guessing. I'm not really
I don't
sure.
know.
And then fatty foods.
Disgusting.
And you know what? A lot of people eat it.
I don't understand that.
A ton of people that I know
it's
eat
just
it.
like
They say it's delicious.
I've seen it in the deli, and I'm just like,
Me
I'm
don't
not
know,
eating
me
that.
don't want to eat. Me don't know. Anyway, my strange food is bird nest soup, which is very popular amongst the Asian community. Have you heard of it?
I did hear of it. I don't understand it. I don't.
Do you know about it?
I don't know much. No.
I'll explain.
Tell me.
I'll explain further.
Yes.
Okay, so its appearance seems quite benign as the gelatinous mixture, another gelatinous mixture. Gelatinous of the bird's nest. It rests in a light chicken broth, but when you discover the true contents of this unique offering, it might change your mind. The key ingredient is truly a bird's nest, but not one made of twigs and leaves. Guess what it's made from?
I don't know what. I'm scared.
Sparrow-sized swiftless nest is primarily composed of saliva.
Whose saliva?
The bird's saliva. Exactly.
That's so
Ayana.
gross.
Yes.
Where's the saliva coming from?
From the birds. When they create a nest with their saliva. Like it gets really hard.
Okay.
Anyway, the complete structure is built within 35 days by the male swiftlet to accommodate 1 to 2 eggs, and its shallow cup shape does not exceed the size of a human hand. So it's about this size.
And why do people want to eat this?
They say it's really good. Like in the Asian culture, they feel that it's really good for the libido. I swear. And a couple of other things. Anyway, the nests are harvested 3 times a year, and the swiftlets are typically given time to breed and raise their young in the nest before removal. The original discovery of this as a culinary treat is unknown, but it has been considered part of the Chinese culture for over 1,500 years. It's supposedly good for raising the libido, improving your complexion, and it's supposed to be amazing for the immune system.
What people will do to look good. I know.
In Hong Kong and in the United States, Hong Kong and the United States are the largest importers of bird's nest soup and bird's nest, and they charge between $30 and $100 per bowl of soup. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I swear.
I wouldn't be paying for that. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you. And the thing is, while a single kilogram of nest can cost between $2,000 and $10,000, it's called the caviar of the East.
Yo, people are crazy. That's all I can say. I don't know.
Saliva. We're both doing gelatinous thing. What's up with that?
I don't know.
This is supposed to be about back to school.
I know.
What's
None of that
happening?
has to do with back to school, but it's gross.
Anyway, we are going to a break, and we will be right back.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Hi, I'm Nina Marcal. I'll be ringing up your purchase today. My associate Shauna Glover will bag your items.
Hey there.
Hey, nice to meet both of you.
Let's see. Pork rinds, grape soda, genetically modified strawberries.
Yeah?
No me gusta.
Oh.
Okay, I don't want to offend you or anything, but none of this stuff is good for you.
It can't be that bad.
You're practically digging your grave with your teeth.
Yikes.
But don't worry, there are healthier choices that are just as delicious. You can try some dried kale instead of potato chips.
Or even actual grape juice in the place of the purple liquid cavities.
Right.
Also organic fruit instead of the GMOs.
You guys have some good ideas, but how do you know so much about good eating?
Shauna and I host the brand new talk show Food Rap every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the GoPro Radio Network.
Yeah, it's the brand new radio show that's all about good eating. Nina and I will take you on a delicious journey through the latest trends and traditions and alternative eating from the everyday person's perspective.
Wait a minute, I heard about that show, Food Rap, on the GoPro Radio Network, right?
Yep, it's the perfect weekly digest for anyone looking to beef up on food facts and share their own discoveries.
All right, that's it. I'm putting all this junk back, and I'm making better choices. And the first choice I'm making is to tune into Food Rap every week from now on.
That's every Saturday at 3 p.m. on the GoPro Radio Network.
At www.goproradio.com.
Where talk never tasted so good.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Welcome back.
And we are going to be joined by our special guest, Sadiqa Muhammad.
Yes,
Are we playing a video?
we are.
Let's go to video.
Okay, but before we go to video, why don't you tell our guests who Sadiqa is and why we have her on the show.
Okay, before that, I do
Yeah.
want to give out the number so they can join the
Yes.
conversation in case they want to call in and speak to
Yes.
Sadiqa. The number to call is 646-929-1521. Sadiqa Muhammad is an actress, writer, producer, and most importantly, a mom. Her web series is actually called Mom, and it's actually pretty hilarious, by the way.
Hilarious.
Hilarious. And you can find her on her YouTube channel, which is SND TV Network. She plays a character named Shari, and she takes a humorous look into the life of a single mom and her friends as they all try to balance the chaos of kids, husbands, career, and their friendship with one another. Sadika is going to be giving us some great tips on how to keep your kid healthy while on the go as we enter the new school year.
That's right, and we have the video so you can see just how hilarious she is.
Hilarious.
I love the music.
It's cool.
You told me you needed more time, more love, more feeling close to you. Can you woo, woo, woo? Can you woo, woo, woo? When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall.
All right, well, that's just a little snippet right there of her singing. If you got to get the visual, if you guys go to her YouTube page, you'll get to see her singing in front of the mirror after the shower.
It's so funny.
So let's welcome Sadika on and talk to her, and she could tell us more about the show and give us these great tips. Hey, Sadika.
Are you on the line?
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Good. You got some pipes there. You were singing it. You were.
Yes, my shower, singing glory. Everything sounds good.
Yes.
In the shower.
Yeah. So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about the show, a little bit about you?
Okay. Well, I am an actress and a mom and writer and producer. And so I'm originally from Chicago and moved out here about 5 years ago to Los Angeles, and, you know, been auditioning and working and, you know, trying to advance my career as an actress and things of that nature. So one of the things I decided to do was create my own series and kind of base it on what I know best right now is being a mom. And just my son, he's very funny. We have a lot of humorous encounters, and so he's just a character in and of himself. I probably should have given him some writer's credit for the series, but he's hilarious. And so in dealing with him, I used to tweet or Facebook like these interactions between me and my son, and people would respond like, "Oh, that's hilarious," and friends would be like, "Oh, you should write a show." And so I was like, "Well, why? You know, why not?" And so I created this series, and you know, of course, me and all my mommy friends, just the experiences that we talk about and what we go through, and, you know, dealing with our men and our kids and all that good stuff. And so I decided to create this series, and I also created, didn't have a cast of women of color, is because we don't have a lot when we see us. So I wanted to also create a series that was funny and humorous and highlighted us in a, you know, funny and positive way. So I said, let me get to writing and creating, and that's the series.
And I'm sure you're getting a really great
this dish called Taco Mac. And so, you can use veggie crumbles, the taco seasoning. You can use Annie's macaroni and cheese. And you just combine, they have it in the Hamburger Helper version, I guess.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you just make your own, and it's real quick to make. But you just use the Annie's macaroni and cheese. You can use veggie crumbles. We do sometimes use ground turkey, and you have Taco Mac, and that can last like 2 days. That's
wow.
Last 2 days. Just make a big pot of it. Have a side salad, and that's the meal. My son, he also likes. He really likes like meatballs. We found these turkey meatballs at Trader Joe's that we barbecue, and it's real quick, quick to make, and might have a side of beans and rice, and some type of vegetable and things like that. And then on the weekends I have a little bit more time.